Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. My name is Chris Wickman. I am a member of the Ingham County Bar Association Board of Directors. I'm hosting this Ingham County Bar Association Deliberations with Judicial Candidates, and I'm pleased today to have the Honorable Richard Hillman today with me. We are going to be proceeding forward via video for everyone who's present after I make some remarks, and then the judicial candidate introduces themselves. You're welcome to ask questions either by unmuting yourself and asking questions, or you can use the chat function and private message me, and I will ask those questions anonymously when the time comes. The Ingham County Bar Association is a voluntary organization of lawyers, legal assistants, paralegals who provide educational and social aspects and events for our membership. And try to generally better the practice of law in Ingham County. We are not endorsing any given candidate. We're doing this series and allowing all candidates, incumbent or not, challenged or not, to host one of these events to talk with our membership, answer any questions that may have, and that is being involved. We're not endorsing anyone. We're just allowing this to increase education about judicial candidates. Everyone has been made available the opportunity, and many of us are taking forward of that, and I appreciate Judge Hillman for doing that today. So with that, I will go ahead and hand it off to Judge Hillman.
Good afternoon, Chris, and anybody else who may be watching. Tony, if you can hear me. I've been a member of the Ingham County Bar Association since 1987, and I previously practiced law for the last 20 years at Foster Swift in Lansing, primarily in litigation. And prior to that time, I worked with the McGinty Law Firm in East Lansing, primarily in the litigation area. I was, my first job out of law school was working for the Honorable Thomas L. Brown as a law clerk for the 30th Circuit Court. So in April of this year, Governor Whitmer appointed me as a district court judge at 55th District Court. And I'm probably one of the first virtual judges to take the bench. My entire judicial interview process occurred over Zoom and or Microsoft Teams. And on April 13th, I began serving as the newest district court judge here in Ingham County. And we've been handling many proceedings since I've taken the bench using the new technology of Zoom. And we're just recently starting to conduct hearings in person. And so it's been a very interesting era for an old timer like me to take the bench and to have to be so reliant on technology. But fortunately, we have excellent staff here, and my judicial assistant, Elaine Stocking, has been fantastic at getting me up to speed and running. So the term of office that I was appointed to expires January 1st of next year. I had the good fortune that I have filed to run for office in the November election, and there is nobody else has run or has put in their name to oppose me. So I will run unopposed in the August primary, and then in the November election, God willing. So I hope to continue to be here for the next 6+ years, and I'm enjoying the experience. And a lot of my practice during my 33 years previous has been in district court, and so I'm finding that very many of the issues that I'm encountering are things that I had seen before as a litigant. And so I think that has been very helpful in terms of my matriculation into this position. So I am learning new things all the time, however, and it's interesting looking through a different lens as a judge than I had as a litigant, both as a prosecutor and a defense attorney in the past. And the court is expecting to open up for landlord-tenant cases in the next couple of weeks, and that is going to be a very interesting dynamic as well, because since the governor's executive orders have prohibited landlords from evicting tenants for the past several months, we're expecting a great backlog of cases to all materialize in a short amount of time. So those are some of the interesting challenges that I'm facing over here in the 55th District Court. I'm enjoying working with my colleague Don Allen, and things seem to be going pretty smoothly under the circumstances. We're learning to troubleshoot our Zoom monitors and click on the make sure the audio and the video are operating, and I still forget to do that sometimes, but otherwise things are going very well. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody might have at this point.
Right, we're going to go ahead and open it to questions. If anyone has questions, you may feel free to unmute yourself, or once again, you can private message me in the chat box and I will ask the candidate. I'm not seeing any right now. I'll ask a couple questions, and if we still don't have any questions, then we can go ahead and end the session. How comfortable or uncomfortable have you found Zoom to be for some of the operations of the court, as far as some, I won't say less important court dates, but less eventful court dates?
For the most part, we've gotten quite accustomed to using Zoom, and frequently when parties are trying to appear on their own, they have a few technical difficulties in terms of getting everything operational, but in most cases we've been able to troubleshoot those issues. We have had some humorous issues on Zoom. I've had a defendant appear before me with no shirt on over Zoom. I've had a couple parties appear smoking cigarettes during the hearings, and so it's you never know what you're going to get when you get inside of somebody's home. So that has been entertaining, but for the most part, it's worked quite well, and I think it's going to continue to be a vital tool that we use as a court for the foreseeable future, based on the need for continued social distancing, and that's likely to continue for quite a while.
I've heard stories of judges encountering participants in still laying in bed, or otherwise chewing gum, or they'll just walk away, or various things during participation.
Yeah, so it's interesting. You get a little flavor for their home life in some occasions. So
yeah, which might bring up all kinds of different issues. If it's a criminal matter and you're looking at sentencing, it's like, well, I can see in the background that there's this need that exists. So
yeah,
glad to hear there's been no illegal substances or anything like that we've been having to deal with. So
not that we know. I'm assuming whatever was being smoked was legal. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I'm not seeing questions. I'll ask one more question. If there's nothing more, we can let you go, Judge. If you're elected, and the chances look positive at this point, but if you're elected, do you have any plans for changes or anything like that with regards to the court or your seat particularly?
I don't have any particular plans to make any changes. I was advised by some good friends who are past judges that it's probably a good idea to spend the first several months on the bench observing rather than trying to implement new things, because I think it takes a while to sort of figure out how things work and what's the way it is for certain reasons and what needs to be changed. I am planning on continuing the mental health court here at the 55th District Court that I'm the presiding judge on. Unfortunately, that court has not been able to operate in its normal process due to the fact that many of the participants don't have access to internet and things along those lines. So rather than conducting the team meetings with the participants present, we've been doing things separately with the team, and we're getting our plan is to start in July having regular weekly team meetings again, and then to start on an individual basis having participants join the team meetings in order to go over the status progress on their particular probation status. So we also, Judge Boyd had also set up a form of domestic violence special probation. It's not a grant-funded program, but it is a special emphasis on those types of cases. So I'm currently under our local administrative order, I'm receiving all domestic violence cases are coming to my courtroom, and we're continuing to handle those in the way they have been handled in the past, and we don't have any current plans to modify that. And I'm sort of I've been on the bench for a little over 2 months now, and I've had lots of probation violation hearings, and I've had lots of pleas and lots of sentencings, and so some of the issues I think have been really caused by people not being able to work and being in this lockdown situation with the COVID virus. And so I think it's led to a lot of people having difficulty in succeeding on probation. And so, and there's less interpersonal communication with the probation officers as well. So I'm hoping that as we get back to a more normal society, that hopefully some of those issues will take care of themselves. So that's really all I can think of. I'm just I'm humbled by the opportunity to serve in this position, and I'm realizing that every day you have a chance to make a difference in somebody's life, and I'm really trying to focus on trying to be at least a positive influence in people's lives, and trying to help people to succeed as they go forward. And that's one of the really nice things about being in this type of position, is that it is the people's court. It is the place where everyday folks deal with their legal problems that they encounter in life. So that's about all I have, Chris.
With COVID, I think you're dealing with plenty, especially taking over in the middle of COVID. So any other questions from anyone? Feel free to once again unmute yourself if you'd like. I've kept everyone muted to now. We're asking the chat function. I am not seeing any at this point. Judge Hillman, did you have anything else you wanted to add? I don't know if you have a website or anything that you wanted to plug in any way. But like I said, the video will be made available to our membership. Anything you wanted to add?
No, Chris, thanks for the opportunity to be here today. And I guess I'm not surprised that there are not a lot of viewers today. I know people are busy on Zoom most of the day, practicing attorneys are. And so thank you for letting me join you, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Judge. I will go ahead and end the recording now.